Kubiak among those happy to have Max Crosby back in Las Vegas. Kubiak saying, quote, "I felt like we picked up another free agent signing once we got him back from Baltimore. Really excited about him leading our defense." Crosby's trade to the Ravens fell through after Baltimore had concerns about his injured knee. And Falcons head coach Kevin Stefanski says he and quarterback Tua Tagovailoa both have a chip on their shoulders and want to prove people wrong this season. Stefanski was fired by the Browns while Tua was released by the Dolphins. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's come around again. Monday. Can't trust that day. It always seems to be a Monday. Coming out of my life, and I just can't run away. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I wanna shoot. The whole day.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome into Sports Daily. Jacob Albrecht here with you on an interesting day. You'll have me the whole way. We'll check in with TJ throughout the show. He's already up at Kauffman Stadium, providing coverage for us over on 12 News. I'll be up there later today, but I'm here with you now. TJ will check in a little bit. We've got a lot of fun stuff still coming up on the show today, though. Joining us this hour, we will have our Royals insider, Jaylon Thompson. We will talk about that series against the Braves to open the season. A lot of fat to chew on what we saw in the opening series. What should we be reacting to? What should we be ignoring? All of those kinds of questions coming for you with Jaylon Thompson, our Royals insider, KC Star. We're also going to have an exit interview of sorts on the season with Shocker head coach Paul Mills. And we'll look ahead to the portal season, as he likes to say. Portal Paul has arrived. So we'll talk to Wichita State's head coach coming up this hour as well. We'll check in with TJ from Kauffman as well in the second hour. We've got March Madness to discuss, a classic ending and a classic game between Duke and UConn yesterday. We've got some giveaways for you. It is all What's on Tap, brought to you by Wichita Brewing Company, where it's patio season. Have a brew with a view on Delano's rooftop deck. Enjoy happy hour on WBC East's patio, or grab a pizza outside, shielded from the setting sun at WBC West. When you think patio, think Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. So we have all of that on tap. Of course, a couple other things we're looking at. We'll discuss here out of the open before we get to Jaylon Thompson in the next segment. The Elite Eight and Sweet 16 that we saw, really just the Elite Eight since the last time we talked here. And also, real big tip of the cap to Gary Woodland, winner on the PGA Tour, Houston Open, 2.5-ish years after brain surgery. Just an unbelievable story. If you have not caught any of the post-tournament reaction from Gary Woodland, go find it. It's incredible. What an incredible story. The Kansan, the KU guy from Topeka, just an unbelievable story. Really, really, really good stuff. So go check that out if you've missed any of it. Just wild, and and wonderful, and just a really awesome story. So shout out to Gary Woodland for getting it done over the weekend and finishing that tournament and finishing a journey back. Your calls, comments, always welcome here, perhaps even more than normal, since it'll be me solo for a little bit of the show today. Lots of guests and fun. But the number, if you want to call in, is 869-1240. You can react to the weekend that way. You can also get in touch with the show via Facebook, YouTube, X. You can leave your comments there, and we can put those right out over the air. As Rick has chimed in right off the top with a great one, Rock Chalk Woodland, absolutely. Echo those sentiments completely. Really, really great story there. But we can see, if you're watching us on the video stream, you can see those comments pop out over the air. We'll read them to you. If you're listening to us on KFH, or if you're listening to us on the Odyssey app, where you can also get in touch with the show. Cool little feature if you're listening in the Odyssey app, there's a little microphone button. You click that, and you can leave us voice messages that we can actually take out over the air. Pretty cool stuff there as well. It is a Monday. Max Powers producing on the other side. He's celebrating a Monday. He's celebrating the warm weather. I know that. I am too. It was nice. Even with the wind. Like I had, let's see. Friday night, windy, cold, couple outdoor soccer games for the kids. Saturday, windy, pretty cold in the morning. We went from volleyball to soccer to soccer to soccer. And you want to talk about just beat down that wind for that guy. Man, I'm feeling you, parents who are out there. You know, if you've ever been to a kid's soccer game, you see the people that have those little pods and they like zip them up and around. It's like a little igloo. That's the way to go. We got our butts kicked by the wind this weekend. Yesterday, at least, it was warm wind, made it much more bearable. Got into the yard work yesterday. I know everybody's out doing that business right now. It's that time of year. It's springtime, and we're going to have another wacky week of weather. We'll keep it tuned to Storm Team 12, that Storm Team 12 app. I know we have a lot of storm chances this week. So, check that out. Man, what a Monday. We're so close to the sports calendar turning and having an entirely different experience as sports fans. Like you get down to the Final Four, and we'll talk about that tournament throughout the show because I think the tournament's been awesome. You finish that, though, you got baseball. Maybe you're in on the NBA playoffs. Maybe you haven't been watching any NBA at all, and you can jump in on the NBA playoffs, myself included in that group. The golf gets a lot better in the summertime. We're about to get to the Masters. We've got some things happening, but it's totally different. Football, we'll be getting ready for the NFL draft again here. So it should be a pretty busy time, but not the dog days of summer necessarily. But it's certainly changing up just a little bit from what we're used to. Let's talk for a minute here. We got a few minutes before we take a break, and we'll get Jaylon Thompson in for the Royals series opener. What do we think of the elite? Let's call it the Elite Eight, because last time we talked, it was Sweet 16. You had the incredible Brad Underwood story, the McPherson native, former Dodge City Community College coach, leading Illinois now to the Final Four with some really impressive wins, including one over Iowa, but maybe more so over Houston in the round earlier. You had Arizona flex on Purdue, represent Big 12. Here we go. And then you get to yesterday, and Michigan reminds everybody why they were the number one most of this year. They absolutely annihilate Tennessee. My goodness. Michigan looked good. It feels like we're looking at a bracket where Michigan and Arizona are on that side. Those feel like the two best teams. UConn, Duke, though. We see it on paper. It's two teams that most people love to hate. And there it is, right in front of us. Duke leads the whole way and loses in the most Duke fashion ever. You get the 30-foot buzzer beater, Braylon Mullins, on a really bad mistake by the freshman for Duke. And UConn gives us the shot we'll remember forever from this tournament. Now, it's not the only buzzer beater or shot like that we've seen, but when you get to this stage and you've got those two teams, that's it. So and we'll explore this later in the show. Let's just kind of think about how that Sweet 16 down now to the Final Four is gone. Because the Final Four, we sit here, you've got 2 1s, a 2, and a 3. A year after you had 4 1s. We had chaos brackets not that long ago into the Final Four. So what did we think? Is college basketball in a good place? You've got a U.S. Senator, former football coach, Tommy Tuberville, introducing legislation to try to curtail some of this. I think the tournament's been awesome. I think it's been so entertaining. So chew on that a little bit as we make our way through today. We'll see what Paul Mills has thought about it, if he's even had time to watch any of it, a little later in this hour. But when we return, our Royals insider, Jaylon Thompson, is in. What do we think of the Braves series? Listen, I think there's stuff we should be overreacting to right out of the gates here for the Royals. We'll see if Jaylon agrees. KC Starr, our Royals insider, that's next here on Sports Daily.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
This is Sports Daily on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
That insider, Jaylon Thompson of the KC Star, want to tell you that Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care, celebrating 60 years in Wichita, providing expert lawn care for a healthy lawn, tree and shrub care, and bedweed control since 1966. Longhofer Lawn and Tree Care. TJ's able to hop in here for a little bit on this segment too. TJ will be in and out on the show today as we welcome you in, Jaylon. So we've got one in the books, Jaylon, one series in the books. And I think as we look at the Royals, this is a really interesting series. Overreactions, underreactions, all of it. We saw the offense struggle, right? 6 runs in 3 games. And we saw a situation at the back end of the bullpen. How much of what we saw in that series should we be concerned about big picture here?
I wouldn't say that the offense struggled. I would say the Braves just made some good plays in game 1. That took away a lot of the offensive punch when you're going against Purcell. And then I would say that the bullpen is a concern. I would say that's a fair overreaction because Carlos Estevez is not where he needs to be right now, and you kind of saw it coming in spring training, and it's like one of those car crashes where you know it's coming up and you're in traffic and you don't want to look, and then you get there and you're like, oh, this is bad. And that's kind of where the Royals are right now. So they got Lucas Erceg. He got the save last night. So maybe they'll be okay, but that bullpen has to be rectified right now.
It looked like, Jaylon, that there was an injury to Estevez. I assume that's from getting drilled in the foot on the potential double play. Do you have any update? He was in a boot, I saw. How long is he out for?
Yeah, he was in a boot, and they haven't said if he's going to be out for any extended period of time or anything like that. I'm sure we'll probably get an update today. They're going to get some more testing. And when they were on the road, they couldn't really get like all the imaging that they needed to get. But now they're back home, they'll be able to get that, and they'll see exactly how his ankle is, his left ankle is. But yeah, he got hit pretty clean when Michael Harris hit the ball back to him in that 9th inning.
That's okay. If he is healthy, I guess for me, Jaylon, we last week before the season started, there's some concern about Estevez. He was great last year, led the league in saves, but we saw it get shakier as the season went on. We saw the velocity dip in the preseason. If Erceg's healthy, is Estevez like? Do you really want him in the highest leverage spots right now? Like, how quick do you think, even if it's not an injury, the Royals will be ready to reshuffle that back end if they need to? These games in March count just as much as the ones do in September in the standings of a competitive division.
Yeah, Royals manager Matt Quatrell, he hinted at a potential change if necessary. He was saying how they want to get Estevez back with his mechanics and his command basically his fastball command in sync again, right? And the way to do that is to have him out there and pitching in games if he's healthy. So they're looking at potentially maybe using him in a low leverage situations to just get him more pitches, more opportunities to get in that rhythm, find that rhythm. So if you're talking about having your closer pitching low leverage, then that means that in games that are of the most importance in those high leverage situations, you might not see Carlos Estevez be the guy in that ninth inning until he can get his velocity back up to 96, 97, 98. And it's going to take some time, you know? A pitcher just doesn't jump 7 miles per hour on his velocity in just a blink of an eye. They Royals know that Carlos Estevez, he always builds up slowly. He did it last year and went on to lead the league in saves. But this year just feels a little bit different. It just feels like time is of the essence, and they want to give him that time to get back to who he can be and who he has been. He was an all-star last year. You can't take that away from him. But this is a time where the Royals have to go for it. They're in a win-now mode, you know, and the season started. It's time to be going on all cylinders, and he's just not right now. So that's where they're at in this situation.
Jalen, I hope that people at home are laughing at us because the last time we had you on the show, we sat here and said, yeah, I think one of the strengths of the team is going to be the bullpen. It took all of one series for us to sit here and change the entire tune of that. Let me switch topics. I'll talk about the lineup. Opening day was the full platoon. You just threw the whole kitchen sink of righties at Chris Sale, and it didn't work. That's not what it will look like, though.
No, I think I asked that question, TJ, about the lineup on opening day, and against a really tough lefty like Chris Sale, the Royals brought Lane Thomas and Starling Marte in because they're really good against left-handed pitchers. So you're probably going to see them in the lineup more often than not against those lefties and those really tough lefties. As you saw, though, Vinny Pasquantino batted fifth in that lineup. He was right back in his customary third spot, and he was terrific the last 2 games of the series, just helping the Royals do what they need to do to get that win last night in Atlanta to come back with at least a victory in that series. I think that the offense, like I said, you take out the first game because the Braves made some incredible defensive plays and they kind of robbed them a little bit. But I think the good thing about the series to me was yesterday, the Royals came through with two out hits. Bobby Witt Jr. had a 2-out RBI hit. Vinny Pasquantino did the same thing. Carter Jensen had a key sacrifice fly and a home run. So when you're looking at silver linings and good things to take from that series in Atlanta, I think yesterday's game was that. The offense is starting to come around. So like I said, I wouldn't categorize it as a struggle. I just think Chris Sale's really good, and he got to him.
They're going to face a lot of really good pitchers, though, Jaylon. Like what makes you feel good in a series against Minnesota? They might see Joe Ryan, I guess, but they're not going to see good pitching in this series. Is it too much to ask to say let's see 15 runs over 3 games against one of the worst teams we think in baseball this year? Like the 2 and 3 runs and getting great win. Like I just don't think that's the ticket this year. They've got to be able to put up 6 or 7 runs consistently, I think, if they're going to reach that goal that they want to reach.
Yeah, Jacob, I definitely agree with you. I think they have to put up those runs. But I will say this. I think a lot of people overreacted to losing 2 out of 3 in Atlanta. But honestly, just like last year, it could have been 2 out of 3 the Royals' way. I mean, you lost game 1 definitively. You lost that one. Game 2, you won. You had that game 1. Your bullpen blew it. Then game 3, you came back and you won, right? So I think coming home, facing the Minnesota Twins, you got a new dimensions in the outfield. We'll see how that changes the game and how it's played at Kauffman Stadium because we haven't really seen that yet. So does the offense explode with those new dimensions? How does all that work out? I think we'll find out a lot today in the home opener. And like you said, the Twins aren't expected to be one of the top teams this year. This is a series you have to go and get all 3 games.
Jaylon,
If you want to be where you want to be at the end of the year, you got to take these 3 games against the Twins at home.
Jaylon, I'm sitting here looking at the new wall right now. I'm actually at the K. What do you think this is going to make a difference of? What do you think? I mean, obviously, at the base level, as we sit here and talk about it, it's going to make more home runs for the Royals. It's going to make more for the other team. Do you think that we broke this down big time whenever it happened to the analytics of like hitting versus pitching and where it is in Kansas City? Do you think it's favorable for Kansas City?
I think it is, CJ. I think that for the Royals, it's going to be a major help because so many of those times last year and years before, you would see them hit balls that just died at the warning track. It just didn't have enough juice. If it was 375, it would go 373, right? It'd just be right there. Yeah. I think having these new dimensions will help, especially for a guy like a Jack Caglione. If you watch the series against the Braves, he hit the ball really hard. He took his walks and things of that nature. But if he's hitting the ball and they're going over the fence now, that gives him more confidence. And maybe that'll jumpstart something that this offense will need.
Yeah, it helps who the most though? Is it Vinny Pasquantino? Probably. I that's what some of those balls would go in, but the Royals hitters that hit with true power, Caglione, Bobby Witt Jr., I think probably Salvador Perez. They're not worried about cheap ones, right?
Yeah.
Is it those line drives from Vinny Pasquantino that could maybe get over? Is he the biggest beneficiary of this?
I don't know. I think Vinny, he hit 32 homers last year, right?
I know.
So I mean, I can't say
I'm trying to find the big difference here, and I know there's going to be one. I mean, we've computers have told us there's going to be one. It's just I'm trying to figure out where it's going to play.
You know who it might help though? It might help a guy like Isaac Collins. To be honest with you, it might help a guy like him because he hasn't really jumped off the page yet. And this is going back to spring training. He hasn't really jumped off the page as a guy's like, oh, this is why we got you, right? So maybe he comes and it helps him. Maybe it'll help a Jonathan India. You gotta remember, last year
one of the ones.
He came
that's right.
in, he had 2 balls that probably would have been homers with the new Alpha Dimensions. His first series with the Royals. So I think those 2 guys, I think it'll help because they have the ability to hit homers, but they're not home run guys. But with the new dimensions, maybe those doubles that they hit will go over the fence. Maybe that'll help spark something. But I think that it's hard to tell. I mean, the other team is going to have the same dimensions. So that's another thing you have to look at too. Like the pitchers have to keep the ball in the ballpark. I think Chris Bubich today will try and do a good job of that. But we just don't know until we see the game actually play on the field what's the difference going to be.
Boy, it feels like Jaylon Thompson, our Royals insider, the KC Star. We're breaking down Series 1. Jaylon will be joining us weekly here on Sports Daily. Appreciate the overtime today. We're all excited for baseball ahead of home opener today. We're going to be talking about these pitchers. You know, the fences will impact the Royals pitchers too. The starting pitching, I think, just about every guy in the rotation has an early season storyline to watch, right? Waka looked good. Lugo looked great, which is as big a development as we probably saw in the opener if he can get back to where he was. Cole Reagans, though, we've talked about in the offseason, is one of the biggest things on this team that could sway one way or the other. What did you think of his opening performance? Did he show us what we needed to see to think, yeah, he's back, at least stuff-wise? I know the outcome wasn't the best, but what are the early returns on his, road to recovery of sorts?
I think that is probably going to be one of the most inefficient outings you'll probably see from Cole Reagans. Opening day, starting, it's a lot that goes into that, right? It's a lot of eyeballs and things, so it's easy to overreact and say, oh, no, Cole Reagans isn't that guy or whatever. But all you have to do is look back to what he did 3 starts when he came back last year what he did that last game against the Athletics in Sacramento, Cole Reagans will be okay. I think a lot of people just have to realize that it was just one game. And if you're telling me that you go toe-to-toe against Chris Sale in Atlanta Braves lineup on opening day, and you still kind of give your team a chance, and you really only got hurt by a couple of home runs, really, I think you'll take that, right? He had the 2 solo homers, and then he had the 2-run homer that he gave up to Michael Harris. Home runs, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of him keeping his fastball command, keeping the command of his pitches, and just getting those strikeouts. I think he can clean that up, and he'll be okay.
He gets another one in Thursday's game. They'll have their weird day off in case of rain tomorrow, and then they play Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll see him again on Thursday. The Royals have put that out. It's so funny when you look at the Royals rotation, the righty-lefty thing. You're looking at this series against the Twins, right? And they'll face 3 lefties, starting with Chris Bubic tonight. The Royals have a lot of versatility in that rotation. We've known that. Bubic is another guy, like Reagans. The only difference is Bubic's year last year came out of nowhere, right? Reagans is a little bit more of a known commodity. He hasn't been doing it long, but Bubic has been around for a while, and we've never seen anything like we saw from him pre-injury last year. What's the expectation for him this year? And if you had to predict it, is he going to be a Royal for the entire season?
Yeah, I'm glad you hit that point right there. I think Chris Bubic is going to pitch very well. You got to remember, he's playing for a contract. I mean, playing
somewhere, whether it's the Royals or somebody else.
When guys are playing for a contract, whether it's the Royals or, like you said, someone else, they usually show up, and they show up in a big way, right? And it's hard to, right, if I'm sitting here right now, do you pay Chris Bubic, if he has a great year, what he deserves on the open market? Because if he puts up a sub-3 ERA and has 12 to 13 wins, and the Royals make the playoffs, he's probably looking at a $25 million deal at the end of the year, right? Annually, right? And do the Royals pay that? Will you have other pitchers in the minor leagues that you can use to supplant that? Do you save that money for something else? So you got to really look at that, or do they do what they did last year with Seth Lugo and say, you know what, we like what's happening here, we will pay to keep you middle of the season, give them a deal. And so it really can go both ways. But if I'm sitting here right now and Chris Bubic pitches well, I can't see him staying in a Royals uniform at the end of the year, because he's going to cost money. And they already paid 3 pitchers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. We're right now, we're looking at next year, right? The Royals will have Waka signed for $14 million. They'll have Lugo, of course, on his deal.
Reagan's got a little bit of a bump too.
You're going to have Reagans hitting arbitration, right? Which is probably, you hope is going to be expensive. But you've got $40 million tied up with Lugo and Waka next year, I believe. Is that right? And then you've got, so then what are you going to do? You're going to have Reagans in arbitration starting that. He's, you hope, going to get a raise. That's it. If I can't wait to hear from JJ Piccolo and John Sherman today. If they committed that much money to the starting rotation, good on them. But it probably doesn't make sense. I'm with you. It probably doesn't, because you're going to have to try to sign Vinny Pasquantino at some point. Mm-hmm. I think they would like to hope that Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione are a part of this. Best case scenario for the Royals, though, is Bubic makes it hard on them.
That's right.
We'll just put it that way, and it starts today. Jaylon, we appreciate it. We'll see you at the ballpark. I'll be up there here in a little bit. TJ's there now, and we'll be doing this every Friday during the season. Can't tell you how much we appreciate it.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you guys there.
There's Jaylon Thompson. Follow his work at the KC Star. When we return, Paul Mills, Portal Paul, is here on Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now. 83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Thanks to Prairie Fire Coffee for keeping us fueled up, fired up this morning. Wait on Paul Mills. We'll see if he's able to stop by. If not, we'll reconnect and get that rescheduled. TJ, you're at the K. We can see it behind you there.
I am at the K. Here's KCTV
Sun is shining
walking by.
bright. Look at there, everybody on the video screen.
Royals on gray. How about that?
Yeah. Great television. So here we'll take a second here while I've got TJ. So you've probably seen, if you've been trying to keep up with how to watch Royals games, it is
Did you ever figure it out?
Okay, I did. First of all, let me say this: you can hear them all on KFH and the Odyssey app. So we're very excited about that. Television wise, it's a mess. So here's my experience with it. So I needed to sign up to watch the Rangers games. I'm a Rangers fan. I'm like, okay, got to get MLB TV. Go to MLB.com. You sign up for MLB TV, and it redirects you to ESPN. I'm like, okay, why is it doing that? And because ESPN is housing MLB.TV. But in order to do that, you get auto-subscribed to the ESPN Unlimited $30 a month package, which I don't need. I'm like, okay, look it up. It's like, it's a free trial that you can then the auto renewal, you go in and you sign up, and then you have to go in and you have to cancel the auto renewal. I'm like, okay. So I get signed up, I get it connected, then you have to connect your accounts. I do that. I go to ESPN. I figure out how to disconnect from the whatever, ESPN Unlimited. I'm like, all right, we're ready to rock and roll here. Here we go. We're good. We can watch some baseball now. And then the Royals come on. And of course, if you're on MLB.TV, the Royals get blacked out. And I'm like, okay, we finally get the news on how to watch the Royals and everything. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go add the Royals. It's like it's a bundle or whatever. If you put it with MLB.TV, it's another $50. I'm like, all right, per game basis, that's fine. So I go in and I you can't do it. And I'm like, how do I add on this bundle? So I go to Royals.TV and it's trying to make me buy a new one. So TJ, I kicked it old school and I call the customer service line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Karen.
And I'm like, guys, I can't figure this out. What am I supposed to do? And he's like, well, you're right. You can't. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, so what do I need to do right now? And he's like, well, you'll have to cancel your ESPN subscription. And then you order this bundle through MLB.TV. And I'm like, I thought ESPN was doing that. He's like, well, it is. But now since you have the bundle, that'll have to go through MLB.TV. And then you can go back and connect it to your ESPN app. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. So he's like, but I can't do anything for your refund. So you'll have to cancel ESPN, and then I can connect you with them to make sure you get your refund on the other one so you can subscribe. And I'm like, good God almighty. Like, you people.
If you haven't done it yet, we have learned that you have to go through MLB first.
If you're doing it for the Royals, you have to go through MLB. If you're doing it for anybody else, you go through ESPN. If that makes any sense. The good news, I think, for a lot of people is your cable, your satellite, all the ways. Like, basically, if you could watch the Royals on TV last year, you can this year. So for all of you folks, everything's fine. Nothing really changes. You just have to log in that way through MLB.TV and connect it. That part's easy. But if you have not subscribed to anything, for the love of God, if you want to watch the Royals, you got to go through MLB TV. Yes. If you want to watch anybody else, you got to go through ESPN. And if you want to watch both, you have to go through MLB TV.
First, correct. Yes.
There it is.
I got my Royals TV. I got it set up on Sunday morning because I drove while I was driving to Kansas City. I made sure I listened to the audio because you get audio and video on that. So I listened to Jake Eisenberg while I drove for a while. So
Odyssey app, by the way, for people out there, you can do that on the Odyssey app too if you're ever anywhere, which is real handy. That's usually what I do when I'm mowing the yard. But anywho, you got yours set up.
I got it. Got Eric Hosmer in the booth. You listen to that?
Yeah. I heard it yesterday. I'm gonna need a little more Haas energy. I
really thought that Haas was gonna be like pumping it up,
off
crazy.
The rails.
Yeah, that's what he was when he's a player. He's like,
I know.
And it takes calm and collected.
It takes a minute. It takes a minute to get there and to get comfortable with that because everybody in the world is telling you what to do, how not to do it wrong, everything else. But
correct.
You're bringing in Haas for that Haas energy.
That's right.
a little of that pause energy. I haven't been in a Royals locker room, TJ. I don't think, speaking of pause, since those glory days. It's been a minute since I've been down in there in the scrum and in the middle of it. That'll be fun today. So anyway, that's how you watch Royals games. A part of what the Royals are doing on TV this year is they've partnered with Great Television, which is us on 12 News. We will carry 10 games like we did last year. I would say the selection of games is better this year. And what's really cool is we're moving some to KWCH. So you will watch the Royals on KWCH today, right up to our 6 o'clock news, which is why TJ and I will be there, bringing coverage from the K. And TJ and the morning show's been there all day long. It's a really cool. It's one of the coolest things I think for like a local TV station that I can remember, especially on the sports side. We're able to carry games now, and there's a big future in that for baseball. I think probably more than other sports. Of course, you've always been able to watch all your NFL games basically, but like they're doing it a little bit with basketball in some markets. We do it. We carry some Thunder games on the KSCW. But for the Royals and being able to run them right on KWIT in a day game, a home opener, that is fantastic. I'm so happy for it. This is as good as we've had.
Yeah, Jacob, not to derail this here. By the way, first of all, Paul Mills has technical difficulties. We'll get him tomorrow at 7:40. So we'll get him tomorrow morning. He said he's got something going on with his phone that's being weird. So he'll join tomorrow when he's back at his normal studio, his podcast studio he does. Breaking news that just popped up from Pete Thamel. Utah State has a new head coach. Ben Jacobson.
What?
Yeah, that's wild.
All these years?
And he went to I guess they're going to the Pac, but.
Huh. 20 years at Northern Iowa, and you pick Utah State as your spot. Now, there's a lot of reasons that you could do that. 20 years, you're inching closer to like thinking about retirement or where you want to finish your final years. I don't know. Where's Utah State located? Is it in the ski part of Utah or the desert part of Utah? I have no idea.
They're called the Aggies, so take that for what it's worth. It has to be not snow.
Boy,
that's crazy.
That's interesting. And the Pac carries some swag. I haven't seen. I don't know if they have a TV deal. I mean, that's going to be a really good basketball conference. You basically take the Mountain West, which was already a really good basketball conference,
Gonzaga in it,
and throw in Gonzaga. And did St. Mary's go?
No.
Okay. So you throw in Gonzaga. Like that's a good basketball league.
Other basketball news of the coaching carousel. I can't remember his name. The Cal Baptist coach that we just watched in the tournament is leaving Cal Baptist to go be the assistant at Arizona State under Randy Bennett. And people are like, you just took a team to the NCAA tournament as a head coach and you're leaving to go be a Power 5 assistant. Does that say anything about the state of mid-major basketball?
No, not at all. I think it's going to tell us that he's got eyes on doing something. Assistants get hired. Now he's got his head coaching experience in his back pocket. If Arizona State's great, how old is that guy? I don't even remember his name.
Pretty young.
So if he's young, you put in 5 years at Arizona State, you're going to have a chance to go get a top job.
That's true. It's easier to make the tournament at Arizona State than it is Cal Baptist. That's for sure. So.
Cal Baptist made it for the first time this year.
Yeah.
I would say that's a pretty good jump to Big 12 assist. He wasn't getting any big jobs out of Cal Baptist. They'd have had to make the tournament 2 more years in a row, probably, for him to get the same opportunity. So I think that's good. I think it's good. Look, the mid-major basketball, we were joking yesterday, UConn, the mid-major representative.
Mid-major UConn.
It's
back-to-back national champion.
We're gonna have we're gonna have a Power 6 scenario with the Pac and Big East, but that's what I mean. So now we're into 6 conferences that are great. Like college basketball's fine at that point, right? There's plenty of room. There's all of it. Again, true Cinderellas don't make it this far anyway. FAU was the last one. Don't tell me San Diego State is a Cinderella.
They were a 6, weren't they?
San Diego State has been like a 1 through 4 seed, feels like 50 times over the last 15 years.
It's fine to be a Cinderella, though. I mean, if Iowa would have made it, they were a Cinderella.
Can you be a Cinderella out of the
Power Conference? You can be a Power 5 Cinderella.
That just means
you're an underdog in all your games.
Then we have nothing to worry about with the tournament.
Yeah,
because we're going to see that all the time.
People are just freaking out because the mid-majors aren't the Cinderellas anymore. Now it's just showing that the floor is raising in these.
We just got to call them one-bid leagues. The one-bid leagues. But the one-bid leagues don't advance anyway. Even the Shockers, when they had runs out of the Valley was a pretty good league back then. And so, like, the one-bid leagues aren't going to make runs in this tournament. They never really have. They get to the Sweet 16. They win a couple of games. And I think, like, what we get out of the first week of the tournament is different than what we get out of the second weekend of the tournament. Those games, outside of Michigan, those games were great this weekend. Arizona was trailing at halftime. What other game wasn't good?
I know.
Illinois, Iowa was entertaining.
That's what's such the crux of this season is that you have the major complaint that there is no mid-major and there's no real Cinderella by the normal standards. But in the other breath, I mean, it's the same thing as collegiate sports. Like, everything that you loved about collegiate sports is gone, but the games are better than they ever have been. And the NCAA tournament, I think you can make the argument that everything that you loved about it may be going away, but the games are going to be insane.
And in reality, nothing has changed, whether we're talking about college football or college basketball. College football. Biggest gripe for me in college football throughout history is it feels like a foregone conclusion who's going to win the championship every year before the season ever starts. It's better than that now. That's gotten better with this. And I think college basketball over time probably will too. It needs the tweak more than football does. I don't know. That they both need the tweak. But we're getting, you're right, the games. I mean, UConn Duke last night. Goodness gracious.
Inside scoop here for me. I was driving to Kansas City, so I caught basically, the relevant part of the Michigan game. I turned that off at halftime while I was driving because I was like, I'm not going to sit here and listen to Kevin Harlan scream about a 25-point game. To listen to Dusty May's kid going in. Like, it's over, whatever. And so I listened to Duke. So I took a triangle to get to Kansas City, obviously. I stopped back home. And so I was in the KOAM viewing area on CBS, which is where the game was. So I caught Duke basically until I got north of Pleasanton. And then it cut out because I left the viewing area. And I was like, well, I don't want to mess with it. It's a 20-point game anyways. It's over. And then my phone is blowing up, and people are calling me like, did you just see what happened in UConn Duke? I'm like, what? They lost by 20. What are you talking about? And they didn't. I literally could not believe I had to literally pull over to the side of the road to pull up my phone to see what everybody was talking about. And that's crazy. That's one of the moments of the last decade of my college basketball fandom life, probably. That's insane. Where does that rank up? I think you could do a full segment on where that ranks up next to, not quite Mario Shot. That was a national championship, but it's in the top 5 probably.
It's up there. Look, did you see the Kentucky game this year?
Yeah,
I mean, the implications were a little lower. That was just as good. We get these every year. We get them every year. They put it side by side when Furman beat Virginia a couple of years ago. That was great. I watched Kansas and Duke. That game had like 4 or 5 of those kinds of plays at the end of it. That's why March Madness is great and remains great. It looks – Michigan, Arizona look like the wagons. They got to play each other now. Like, Illinois is the least Cinderella, but Brad Underwood feels like a little bit of a Cinderella. Illinois spent a ton of money on that roster. Like, they are not some dark horse. They're not. I'll bring that up. I'll bring a list next hour of the Sweet 16 spending. It might surprise you. But we're rocking and rolling here today. Paul Mills tomorrow.
I got to go do TV. Pull up your own headlines. I'll be back at 8:15.
All right. TJ will come back in a little bit. We've got more Sports Daily. Another hour to go.
This is Nutty.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
It's come around again. Monday. Can't trust that day. It always seems to be a Monday. Coming up in my life, and I get scared and run away. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I wanna shoot. The whole day.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, for another hour of Sports Daily. Fun first hour here as we're getting ready for a wild work day in our world. We've got this action coming to you. It's a big day for baseball, big day for us in baseball. Of course, this is your radio home of the Royals. It's an adventure on finding ways to watch them today. You can watch them on 12 News on KWCH. TJ and I will both be there providing coverage. He's already been up there this morning providing lots of pregame coverage. Looking forward to that. It'll be good to get back out to the K. Now, my life now doesn't take me on the road nearly as much as it used to, so it'll be fun to get out there and do that. Jake Ballbrock here, Max Power there. He's taking your calls at 869-1240. He's got your video comments being monitored on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, checking the voice messages that are coming in through the Odyssey app. We appreciate you listening however it is that you're listening to us. We've got TJ checking back in just a little bit this hour. We'll talk a little bit more about what we've seen in March Madness. I'll take you through some Sweet 16 NIL spending that might surprise you, might not surprise you. But we'll get into that as we look at Casey Alexander at K-State has brought in a couple of players now. Some of the guys that were committed to him through high school have apparently flipped over to K-State. We've got a couple other things here off the top we'll get to. It's all what's on tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company. 3 locations, east near Central and Woodlawn, west at 13th and Tyler, and in historic Delano featuring a rooftop deck. Order online at wichitabrew.com. Local craft beer on tap, patios, pizza, full bar available at all locations. WBC pizza and beer made here. Let's set you up this hour too with a giveaway. How about some HTO as we're starting to see a little sunshine? We've got these warmer temperatures. If you want to win a free cup of iced tea, more than 25 flavors to choose from, you can do that right now. All you have to do to win is text the keyword tea to the short code 20357. That's T to the short code 20357. That'll get you a free cup of tea at either East Wichita, West Wichita, or Derby. You can enter once per day. Message and data rates apply. While you're in there, check out the matcha tea. Have you gotten into the matcha craze? Matcha tea. 3 different kinds of matcha tea or plain. They come iced or hot. They've got cold foam on the top now. You can add cold foam to those teas I've heard is really good. It's all available at HTO. Ask about it when you go in for that free cup of tea. Good luck, everybody. All right, a couple headlines to get to here today. First, KU in the WBIT did make it to Wichita. They get a win. They will play here in Wichita, the semifinals and the finals if they are able to beat BYU. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Wichita and everybody who had a part in bringing that tournament here to Charles Koch Arena for these final 2 rounds, because you get KU there potentially for both games. I hope they get a good showing. That is a roster full of Kansas kids that is really, really interesting and fun. And if they can keep it together and add just a little bit more, could be very special. So congratulations to them. Those games will be at Koch Arena if you want to go check out the KU women trying to win the WBIT tournament this week. And then the other headline is Gary Woodland. Gary Woodland's journey back is storybook stuff. You're talking about a winner on tour, big-time PGA pro, brain surgery. Thought maybe, I'm sure at that point, thought possibly career's over. It was all the way back in June of 2019 when Woodland won the U.S. Open. And then things started to go sideways a little bit for him professionally. And then shortly after, in August of 2023, brain tumor diagnosis. Has a brain surgery in 2023, returns to action in January of 24, got a couple awards. It was in March of this year I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, he opened up PTSD. you go through the brain surgery, you battle back, and now you've got afterward PTSD, which is, as we all know, a horrible condition and very serious. And then just 2 weeks later to go on to Houston and win that tournament yesterday. The emotion of it. Again, if you missed it, you have got to go check it out. So he opens up about the PTSD where he struggled in a final round, and everybody is chanting his name, final putt, and then he talked about what that was like again with the PTSD and knowing security was there and like all the things that have been, you talk about a brain surgery, you never know what's going to happen. And this guy who's been a high character, great, champion of the state of Kansas. He's a KU guy, former great basketball player, turned golfer. Unbelievable story. And Woodland is at the top of the golf world right now, and everybody loves him. Moves him just outside the top 50 in the world. He's having a great year. What a cool story, and hopefully it can continue. He's playing really good golf now. So the physical recovery, the physical component of it is good. Now he's got he's got this mental part of it that he's been dealing with. Clearly, hopefully, yesterday's win was something that can, maybe can help him get through that. I can't imagine. I've never gone through anything like that. I can't even imagine what that's like on that stage. But good for Gary Woodland. State of Kansas is extremely. It's a good weekend for the state. Great weekend for the state of Kansas. You want to see some emotion from a couple Kansas guys? You've got that, and then you've got Brad Underwood and his emotion. Just a guy from Kansas, at Dodge City Community College, as he put it in his post-game interview, on to the Final Four. I know K-State fans are devastated that he's not the coach, and there's a million reasons why he's not, but he probably should be, but he's not. But the McPherson guy getting it done at Illinois, he finally got his shot, at Oklahoma State after great years at the low major, if you want to call it that level. Gets his shot and then sees this opportunity at Illinois and seizes it immediately. Illinois is pouring some money into their basketball program. They are. They are not a Cinderella. Illinois is not a Cinderella team. Illinois this year, according to The Athletic, almost $19 million. We're only behind Duke in spending of the Sweet 16 teams left in the tournament. So it wasn't for, but that, I think that's, that's a part of the reason he takes that job from Oklahoma State. A lot of people wonder, like, why are you leaving Oklahoma State to go to Illinois? They want to win. And that's a good history there. And they got a good shot. Look, if you're Illinois, you'd rather play UConn, I think, than Michigan or Arizona, wouldn't you? Illinois can beat those teams. Illinois is really good. We talked about whatever that's called, the hexagon or whatever, the metrics or the analytics on teams historically that have to reach certain metrics in both pace and efficiency. Illinois was in there. They were in that window. And at times this year, they were ranked really high. They come in as a 3 seed. That's not outrageous. That means they're one of the top 12 teams in the country, and they're in this position. But man, Brad Underwood feels like a Cinderella story. He put in the time to get to this point. He was asked about playing Houston in front of their home crowd. And of course, we brought this up last week, driving vans across the country to play single games with a team full of guys. Dude's just a basketball lifer, and he's really, really good at his job. And he's always been really, really good to the people that follow him. He's been really, really good to his home state. And the McPherson guy has a chance now. So if you don't have a rooting interest in this tournament, I mean, it's easy to just say, go Arizona for the Big 12, right? That one's easy. But Brad Underwood, he's a Kansan. I mean, I think KU people are going to get behind Brad Underwood, even though he's a K-State guy right now. From McPherson, going into this opportunity right now. That's just so cool. Such a great story. 2 great headlines for the state of Kansas. I love it. So TJ usually takes the headlines we missed. Glad as he's in and out of his TV coverage this morning to take those couple of headlines there for Gary Woodland and Brad Underwood. What a weekend for those two guys. Really cool stories, and make a lot of people proud here in their home states of Kansas. Good stuff. All right. We're gonna get TJ back in here, I think, in the next segment. He's kind of in and out of live shots this morning. One more contest to get you to. Get ready to rock with KFH. Your chance to see Bryan Adams live in his Rolling with the Punches tour. Listen every day for the keyword, and then you can text that to that number, 20357, to score a pair of tickets to see Bryan Adams at Intrust Bank Arena. This one, July 25th. Today's keyword, listen in, everybody, punch. Punch is the word. Text that to the number 20357 for your chance to win. We're coming right back. Jacob Albrecht here, more Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Chris asks us on X about Paul Mills. Paul Mills had a last-second technical difficulty. He is out on the road, as you can imagine, right now. So he's going to reschedule to tomorrow. So we'll get Paul Mills in tomorrow. So no worries there. Portal Paul. It's Portal Paul season. It's good. We'll ask him how it's going out on the trail tomorrow in sort of a post-game exit interview with us here on Sports Daily. But that'll come tomorrow then. So today, boy, we're getting you ready for Royals baseball. TJ Cleveland is already at the K. I will be immediately headed up there as soon as we get off the air here today. Just getting ready for an exciting day. How are you feeling, Royals fans? Are you excited today? We'll talk more about what we saw in the series openers in just a little bit. Right now, though, we're going to talk about the NCAA tournament. What is, and it's all very interesting, and the timing's interesting as Tommy Tuberville introduces his legislation on an NIL bill. You get 5 consecutive years to play 5 seasons. You get 1 free transfer. If you choose to transfer again, you sit out a year. That's the bill. I think it's interesting. We got to, I think is like the baseline groundwork. I think it's a pretty good starting point. There will be interesting components to it that need to be sorted out. Critics immediately, one, would say, why don't we hold our senators to that same standard, which I thought was really funny. But 2, like, coaches don't have these standards, so how can we expect players to? I think the reason coaches don't have to is because you have all these buyouts, and we know K-State's dealing with one of those right now. But if another team poaches a coach away, generally, they'll pay that coach's buyout. So when coaches leave, and you'd have to also create the same sorts of exemptions. If your coach leaves and you're a player, you got to be given the free opportunity to leave. They're too closely tied. So there will be some nuance here, and there probably needs to be buyout components for players and transfers because it's big money we're talking about here. But we'll see if there's an appetite for this in Washington. I don't know if there is a partisan component to this right now. It's hard sort of to say. People that listen to the show know I'm kind of free market. And so this is an interesting spot for me because you have to get to the point where you feel like college athletes aren't being restricted from their earning potential. And in a way that would, but at the same time, employers at the moment have almost no protections either. So there's got to be a happy medium here. And I think that eventually we can get there. And this isn't a bad look. I kind of like this one. I still want players to have the opportunity to go capitalize. I certainly still want players from smaller schools to earn that chance to have a big payday because that may be the only chance in life they ever get to do that by playing their sport. and they may not get that at a smaller school. So I do think that it still provides that. And if you have to sit out a year, you have to sit out a year if you do it more than once. And I would imagine, and I don't know this for fact, but I would imagine as I sort of see what Tuberville's proposing, if you sit out the year, that does cost you one of your 5 years of eligibility. I think, don't quote me on that. If it doesn't cost you a year of that eligibility, now you're probably not getting as much pushback. But then at the same time, the people that don't like to see older players in the sport, which doesn't really bother me too much, but I know it bothers some, it bothers TJ. So there's that component that we need to sort through. We got to sort through buyouts. But I think we're getting closer to a place where we find a happy medium with the new era of college athletics, which I fully support. I think athletes should be compensated. I'm glad we're to that point. But at the same time, these schools and their resources they're putting into these players by the absolute chaos of the transfer portal, right? Remember, it's the transfer portal, not NIL, making this so chaotic. Now, you can say people are transferring because of NIL, because they have a chance to make more money somewhere else, and I would agree with that. But it's not the spirit of the NIL as much as it is the transfer portal. If you can fix that little part and do it responsibly, I think we can get to the point where we get the best of both worlds. Brandon asks, are there any academic requirements to student athletes anymore? I think there are. I think that at the end of the day, certain student athletes care about that. And at the end of the day, certain student athletes don't care about that. And I don't think anything's changed on that. Athletes have always not gone to class. So let's not pretend like that's an NIL and transfer portal thing, right? Athletes not going to class is a tale as old as time. So we won't sit here and say now all of a sudden, like either they care about it or they don't. That's the way it's always been. And how much do I care about it? I love it when athletes do go. I love it when athletes want that foundation. I love all that. When they don't, I don't really care. I think all athletes should be getting an education in money management at that level. I think we're at college. We could probably help these athletes more with some of those kinds of classes than forcing them to sit through freshman biology. If we really want to talk about academic requirements, why are we requiring academically for people that are trying to be professional athletes to go be amateur scientists in college? You got to admit TJ joins us. You got to miss me with that because
what are we talking about? What did I?
We're talking about Tommy Tuberville introducing his legislation. Finally, Brandon on YouTube asks, "Are there academic requirements to student athletes anymore?" But like, I just never have quite the appetite for that because I think we're making all kids go to college for X number of hours, and how many of those hours are actually helping anybody in what they're going to do professionally. So there's not a lot of sympathy for me on that because, they're billable hours, basically. Brandon, then he follows it up, and I get where you're going with this, Brandon. When's the last time you heard of an athlete being academically ineligible? It rarely happens anymore. But again, when was the last time I cared when an athlete was academically ineligible? They're there to play basketball in this instance or football. They're there to try to become a professional athlete. That's their college education. So I love it when guys want to do more than that. It just doesn't bother me. That's a personal thing. It doesn't bother me when they don't.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like at some point though, like I get it, but at what point are we just getting to the point where we're just bringing in athletes to be university mascots? I get it, but like,
how much more of that do you think there is now than there was 10 years ago?
I think that it's a weird situation because at the end of the day, I mean, Wichita State probably employs 100 plus employees that don't go to class. Like, is there any difference between athletes being employees?
We give professors tenure. You can be bad at your job and keep it. Like what? Yeah. Like I can't draw the line at athletes not going to class. I'm sorry.
That's what's been such, and it's been overlooked in all this stuff is that like as they have talked about athletes and the challenges of them becoming university employees, like that's something that gets overlooked. Is that like then are they students anymore? Like, does that matter anymore?
Yeah, and Brandon, one more time here, and I appreciate the back and forth. Brandon says he doesn't care either. It just needs to be clarified. Yeah, clarify it. It doesn't matter. Look, it has never been that big a deal to me because, again, I can't draw the line in the silly things about college academia that I believe at athletes not caring as much about their freshman classes. Like, that's not why they're in college. And I'm not saying the college part isn't valuable for them. It's very valuable for them. Let's make it more valuable for them. Let's provide athletes learning how to pay taxes and what is a mortgage and how do you save some money and how do you invest some money, and like let's give them the education that they need. How do you not spend all your money? All that's where I think you want to talk about the academia that could really benefit a lot. And some guys want to be doctors. Great. They do both. Those are the ones. Let's celebrate them and not worry so much when not college ain't for everybody, man. Like, I got 4 brothers. 2 of us were interested in college, maybe 3. The other ones didn't give a rip, and that's great. They went and became firefighters and learned trades and everything else. Like, let's just do it that way. So anyway, we got off on a little tangent there. That's the bill being proposed by Tommy Tuberville. This, I don't know how it would affect this, but it kind of goes into the NIL component. The Athletic put out a list of its Sweet 16 spending list. Now, what this does not do, and this is hard stuff to find, what this does not do is say just NIL. It's just what the programs spend, right? And it also is not like a list of every team that was in the tournament. This is just what the teams by their U.S. Department of Education spending. This was submitted for a couple of years ago, 2023-24. So don't think that this is some NIL list. That's not what this is. This is just like investments into basketball programs as of a few years ago and where these teams, because this is the data and information that is out there. If you're looking at this, of the Sweet 16 teams, Iowa State would have been the Cinderella based on resources invested in the program as of a couple of years ago. And they were not quite a third, but less than half of what the top team, Duke, is investing in its program. Guess who's number 2 on that list? This will probably surprise a lot of people. It's Illinois. Illinois is number 2 on that list, ahead of UConn, ahead of Arizona, ahead of Michigan, ahead of Alabama. Some of these teams we know have been really heavily investing in basketball. How about that? Right? A lot of this has to do with coaching salaries, I think. Houston was in there. Houston, we know, has never been the biggest spending team. And they're down toward the bottom with Nebraska, Iowa, and Iowa State. Yet those programs still have a level of success. But if you're looking for, that's sort of where I'm headed with. Like, I think the tournament is in great shape. You just look at a list like that and know that Iowa State, who lost one of their best players, unfortunately, the Big 12 injury bug continued in Jefferson, but they came into this Sweet 16, spending almost a third of what Duke spends. You don't think that's kind of Cinderella-y? It still is. There are still programs out there, Kansas is one of them, we know that invest way more in basketball than their peers. So when you've got teams in there, regardless of the conference that they play in, that are doing it at a high level despite clearly fewer resources, is that not what we want out of the tournament? Is that not still the good stuff? Like, look, I know High Point isn't sitting there, but there are clear advantages for some programs over others. And those others are right there with it. And guess what? If those others win, guess what they're going to keep doing? Investing more in basketball. So what I think we're seeing with the tournament, if we're seeing any trend, and I don't think this is different than it ever has been, is playing in these whatever you want to define them, it's easier to define in football than it is basketball. The Power 4 plus Big East plus Mountain West. Is that fair? Plus Atlantic 10? I mean, you could probably keep it to, and now what's going to become the Pac? Certainly. The Pac will move ahead of the Big East probably. But if your team's in those leagues, you're going to have advantages as far as success. I don't know what kind of TV deal is going to come in place for those. It may already be set. I haven't seen it. But there will be advantages to that over, let's call it the American. And we know that. But then there are also still going to be those outliers in those conferences. Memphis invests a ton into their basketball program, have historically. They get all kinds of top recruits. We think Wichita State can get close to that. We do. I still believe that. We'll talk to Paul Mills about it tomorrow. I can't wait to talk to Coach about how different it feels on what will be March 31st of this year versus the other two March 31sts he's had. What does that feel like? Is there a tangible difference? Does he have more to work with? Can't wait to ask him that question. My guess would be yes. And if they can ever get back there, it should snowball. Does Wichita State belong in the American forever? I'm not going to ask Paul Mills that. He won't give me an answer. But it's a question I think as fans and observers of the program that we should be wondering. Because it's pretty clear that those teams have more resources to work with, generally speaking. So how do you get yourself into that, right? The SEC right now, this is a list of nil-ncaa.com. Take it with a grain of salt. The SEC, the average cost of a team roster, and this was as of last year, about little under $10 million. The Big 12 was just under that, around 8.5. Big 10 right there as well, 8.5. ACC at 8.2. Big East at 8. Your mid to high majors, which is where you find Wichita State and a lot of those Mountain West teams we were talking about a little under 2.5. And then the low to mid majors, $500,000. So, I mean, when you talk about the difference of the power conferences versus, your high points, who was just an example of this year, I mean, you're getting into 16, 17 times more for those programs. So obviously, huge advantage there. When you talk about those other leagues where you'd classify the shockers, you're working with resources about, a quarter of what you might see in an average Big 12 team. Revenue sharing is nice. So we'll see how this works. But I think as far as the entertainment of the tournament, this has been as entertaining a tournament as we've had. Last year's was too. We still have buzzer beaters. We still have great stories. Like, you have buzzer beaters like UConn. You have great stories like Brad Underwood. You have juggernauts making their way through like Michigan and Arizona. It's all represented in this Final Four. Now, these were all teams we expected to have a chance. But it's happening in real time. We saw Iowa make it through. That felt like a Cinderella, as much as a Big Ten team can. We get these great stories all the time in this tournament. I don't think in any of the last 2 or 3 years we've been lacking for great storylines, because I think we've had them. And yeah, once you get to the Final Four, this is my opinion. When I get to the Final Four and even like the Elite Eight, I want the highest level college basketball we can get, right? Cinderellas are great, but it is so hard for a Cinderella team, a true Cinderella team, like a low major team, to come into that tournament and win 3 games. Win 1, and you've already achieved great success. Win 2, that's where the ticket is. But asking them to win 3 and 4 games against this level of team, like, it just doesn't ever happen historically. I don't know why we expect it to now, but I think the tournament's been great. When we come back, let's talk Royals. We'll get you primed up for the home opener today at the K. That's next on Sports Daily. Jacob Albrocht here. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad to be here with you on this Monday. Here we go. Just ready to rock and roll. Royals fans, you can hear the game right here on KFH today. It's Royals home opener against the Twins. Tune in at 2:30 for pregame coverage or download the Odyssey app. Visit Odyssey.com. You can search for KFH and listen that way as well. Quick shout out, Crestview Country Club. Maybe a little windy for golf. We'll get some rain this week. That rain's going to make those fairways pop, though. Get out there and play at Crestview Country Club. Call Todd. Ask him for a tour. It is the time of year to join. 36 holes of golf to choose from. So you got that going for you. They'll have the pool open by Memorial Day. Best pool in town. Got the high dive. They put in some slides. They're building cabanas and all that stuff. Ask my wife. It's all about the tennis out there. Great restaurant, great bar. Give Crestview Country Club. Great family spot. We'll spend an Easter brunch there this weekend. Say hi if you see us. But give Todd a call. Ask him about the different memberships. DJ, we welcome you back in from the K. I'm looking up above you at the K. It's hard to imagine not being at the K, but soon enough, the Royals will not be at the K.
Right. You see, I'm showing you all the bad concrete. Is that what John Sherman called it? The bad concrete?
Yeah, I mean, the concrete's not the best look, but it's baseball. It's nostalgic. I don't mind it. I've never watched a game from where you're sitting. I will say that.
I love. This is where my family used to sit. We used to come all the time. A couple sections over. These are the best seats when you sit underneath the canopy in July, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yes.
When you get like the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
And you
game,
still catch a breeze down there, though?
Yes. This is like the tunnel. Yes. The wind tunnel. It's like X Stadium. The wind tunnel, because you get it from behind that way. So these are one of the best seats. I love these seats. I love, we talked about the seats that they put in left field. I don't know if I can zoom in. I don't know how to work StreamYard on my phone here. I can't. Out there in left field, as they brought the fences in, there's actually like 140 new seats in short left.
Wow.
And behind the foul pole, I think they added some as well right there. Those are my favorite seats in the entire park. Whenever you get to sit right on the left fielder's back, basically back there, that's one of my favorites as well. I bet I've been to 300 baseball games in this place.
It's a good spot. The times I've been, it's up. Normally when I'm there, when I used to go a lot, it was to cover the team, so it's very different. But when we usually sit up to the highest level, but behind home plate, which I always love at a baseball stadium.
True.
Let's talk about the Royals, TJ. I want to overreact to a couple of things, and I try not to do this.
I knew as soon as Estevez gave up the grand slam, I said, "Well, I'm about to hear about this for the next 159 games."
Yeah, we got a lot of games to cover. My point with it is not that Estevez is not going to be a big part of this team. Estevez is going to be a big part of this team. My point is, I'm not real sure what confidence the Royals could have in him in the highest leverage spots. There have been so many signs to it. Now, I will say this too, and I'm not saying he doesn't need to be the closer, although I think I'm saying that, at least for now, because if you move Ursig to that spot, which is what I would do, if you move Ursig to that spot, who's going to come bail you out in the 6th inning with 2 runners on and 1 out?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That can't be a step either.
It feels like that's not the best use of resources. Sorry, is there like a Zamboni going on behind me here at the K? I don't think that's the best use of resources of Lucas Ursig is the hard part. That's why they haven't done it yet. I think the Ursig stuff is better than Estevez's has been, and it probably has been since, even last year, Estevez was an all-star, and he led the league in saves, and Ursig's got better stuff. Like, that's just the fact of the matter. But it's not the best use of resources, because Ursig is a guy that can go 2 or 3 innings. Like, that's why he's so awesome. You can bring him in, like you're saying, in the 7th inning and go 7th and 8th and get you there. So,
but here's the problem. If Estevez were in the 7th, and you would use him in clean innings, right? I think Strom becomes potentially your Ursig replacement. But if you're in the 7th and Estevez struggles because he is physically, something has been happening with him for a while, you've still got 2 innings to come back from it, right? You're not if Estevez, if that exact same inning plays out in the 7th inning, there is no chance he's pitching with the bases loaded to give up that grand slam. He'd have been pulled, right? So I think that's where I would reshuffle them. because if you're going to put it all on the line like that, at that point at the end of the game where you've got nothing to lose, that's where I just try to have Ursa with it. If it's Estevez, he can be used in different ways. He can be used to get you there, which is just as valuable, right? The 7th inning is as valuable as the 9th inning. I get it. It's the whole closure debate. I think we got to watch Strong, and we got to see if anybody else steps up. But if we were to reshuffle it to go Estevez / Strong, right? Would want them the trouble spot, the other between inning, the Strong the trouble potentially, Estevez a clean inning. I don't think right now is too early to do that because you can't just sit here. If Estevez comes out and blows 3 out of 4 saves to start the year, you may ruin him for the year.
Yeah.
I just don't think that there's any need to do that. So my overreaction is don't wait until it gets worse. Do it now because you got to protect Estevez from himself a little bit here.
Yeah, my mind went to, I mean, what was that, 2 years ago? James MacArthur was the closer for all of a week.
And he just got shelled time and time again.
And then they just stopped using him. Like, that's the scary part. And I agree. Like, obviously, baseball's such a mental game. You don't want that to happen to a guy that was an all-star. So there's something to be said about it. I think that the biggest conversation piece about all this stuff is Matt Strahm. Bringing him in is a big deal because it allows you to have this conversation, right?
Huge.
Like, I think that if you don't have Matt Strahm, your hands are tied and just saying, like, I mean, he's kind of got to be, you know? Like, if not, then we're rolling out basically Urseg in the 9th, and that's the only thing we feel confident about. But I don't know. We'll see. I honestly, I'll give you this. I remember whenever Estevez had his first pin of the year, and, you know, the story came out about, hey, he only threw 90. And everybody, in my mind, was like, I mean, it's February, guys. Like, he's going to ramp it up. Like, what do you want to do? Like, he threw 85% off-speed pitches. Like, he's going to ramp it up. And I honestly didn't pay any more attention to it. And then now it's become, like, kind of a natural thing. Is it like, oh, he throws 91 now. Okay.
I want you to go back to last year, late in the year. How confident were you ever with him coming in the 9th? And again, he's so crafty, and I think he's so good, but he's older, and this happens to relief pitchers. I just don't think you can let this become a mental thing for him.
The hard part about it, Jacob, is that, as we're kind of saying, it ties into the Urseg thing, is that if he is your setup guy or your get-out-of-jail guy, like, the thing about being a closer is that you get a whole inning. Like, can you bring him in with 2 outs and bases juice or something like that? Like,
that's not his role.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's scary about having a setup guy.
Here's how I'd set it up. And we'll see Schreiber. You know, he gave up the run yesterday. Schreiber's still there, and he was pretty solid last year. But I would set it up as Strahm in either the 7th or the 6th if you need him, or your get out of jail card. Right? Strahm is what Ursig was. That's what I would do with him. I would try to give Estevez a clean 8th if you can. And if you can give Estevez a clean 8th and he gets into trouble, then you can bring Ursig in to go ahead and finish the 8th and then pitch the 9th. That's how I would set it up today. And now if Estevez is hurt,
I don't think he's going to play. I was going to say, I don't think he's going to play today.
So if that's a totally different situation.
And that's a guess. I don't know, but
this may sort itself out otherwise because other guys are going to have to step up, and then Estevez becomes a bonus pitcher basically if they can do it. So again, one series, the things to overreact to me, that is the thing more than we kind of saw the offense. I disagree with Jaylon. I thought the offense struggled a little bit in that opening series. They got plenty of time, and pitchers are usually ahead this time of year, right? Like,
by the way, let me say this about the reopening day lineup. Like, I get it. I get why you do it. No. Opening day, like on Thursday, on Friday. Like, I get why you did it because you're facing Chris Sale, and you want to get as many righties as you can in there. But like, to me, as we sat there last week and talked to Jaylon about like what's the wild card for the Royals, it's like Jack Caglione. Yep. It's like. You're not going to play him on opening day? Like, I get it. Opening day is no bigger than the 161 other games. Like, they all count the same. But, like, if he's going to be the cornerstone that you want him to be, figure it out, man. Put him in there.
There is no world, to me, where Jack Caglione can't be playing every day.
I agree.
He needs to be playing every day. And I love the pieces they brought in. But if you're gonna cram Marte and Thomas into the same lineup, let Thomas play center field.
It kills me because like Quatraro is a known lineup randomizer. Like I bet he leads the league in different lineup combinations.
He's up there.
It has to be. But it's hilarious that like 3 games in already, it's just like, whoa, Carter Jensen went from batting 9th to 5th. Like we're just
the order doesn't matter to me as much as the people in it.
Even still, like it's not like it was a straight up like platoon lefty for righty situation thing of that nature. It's just like, okay, what? And that's the other part of it too. Like if you're not going to put Cags in because it's a lefty pitcher, like Carter Jensen's a lefty hitter. Like is he better at lefties than Cags? And I get it, but like again, if he's going to be the all-star that you want him to be and kind of need him to be, like you got to play him.
Well, you got to play Jensen too as much as you can, but
I agree. But it can't be you need to play both of them for one. But if it's going to be one or the other, you know what I mean?
I do. And at some point, like Cags is going to have to hit good left-handed pitching if he's going to be the player they want him to be.
That's my point.
Like you can't protect Caglione. Protect Jensen. I agree. Protect him. Collins, Marte, Thomas. Glad they're there. I think one of them has a pretty good chance of becoming pretty close to an everyday left fielder, and that's what you're rolling the dice with, and you see what happens. But again, don't make that at the expense of Jack Caglione. Get that dude his ABs, especially now because they may need it. I don't. It's hard to imagine Garcia, Witt, Salvi, Vinny at the top of any lineup and struggling, but we've seen it for 2 years. We've seen this offense struggle to produce runs for whatever reason. Doesn't make any sense. Can't make sense of it. Can't even give you a good reason. I can't. But they do. So you better be careful and not getting Cags' head either. Nothing to worry about. I think all in all, it was a good first series. They should have taken 2 out of 3 from Atlanta. TJ in Atlanta. Atlanta's a good team. I think Royals fans should be pretty excited. Like you should have taken 2 of 3 from Atlanta. It's not even a could have. You should have. You obviously had the disaster of a 9th inning. No big deal. That's not an indictment on the team. You got 2 great starts. You got to the place you wanted to be. Didn't execute in the 9th. No big deal.
Who was game 2 starter? I can't remember.
Waka.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm excited.
Good. I mean, that's what. I mean, we've talked about it, but like, you're about to live it, Royals fans. Like, Noah Cameron's gonna be your 5. Like, right?
Yep.
Is that correct? Who's? Yeah, Bubich and then Noah Cameron. That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
That's exciting,
and
right?
Falter has been used so far in an appearance out of the bullpen, which is good because he could be, if he can be your long guy / fill-in starter, that's what you want.
And they've got 3 in Omaha. Like it's not going to be for a lack of arms. Like and that's been a problem. Like before, even in the 2014, 2015 years, like what was your 5th guy was, help me out. What was his name? I can't remember his name. That Vasquez, I think it was what was his name? Vargas, Jason Vargas, excuse me. He was the 5 starter. And like compared to the rest of them, it's like, he's good, but he's a drop off. Like, how much of a drop off is it from Cole Reagans to Noah Cameron based on what we saw last year?
Well, better be a lot because Reagan's even more than Waka and Lugo. He's your electric arm. You know what's crazy? You look at they're set up right now. Like the Twins are about to face 3 lefties. Royals have 3 lefties in their starting rotation. And you're going to catch all of them if you're the Twins. That's going to throw teams off. Like, that's going to mess with people this year. Reagans, again, will get his start. Reagans has got to be he's got to be your electric arm. We need Reagans. When you see a Reagans start, that's where you're like, oh, man, he struck out 11 dudes in 5 innings. Okay. Cameron got you through another 6 innings. Don't care what it looked like.
2 strikeouts, 7 scoreless.
Got you there. He got you there. All right. TJ, I will see you up there in a little over a couple hours. Look for our coverage TV-wise here on 12 News. We'll come back. We'll wrap up Sports Daily for you. Happy home opening day, Royals fans. We'll be right back.
Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.